Hey guys, it's that time of the month and I'm here to share with you my 5 favorite albums for the month of February. The year's rolling in and now more and more albums are dropping and there's a lot more to choose from when it comes to making these lists. Now, I obviously expect you guys to let me know what your 5 favorite albums of the month are. Hit me up in the comment section, but before you do that, check out my list, which I'm going to start right now by chronological order of release, starting off with Infected Rain, Time, out February 9th on Napalm Records. This is the band's 6th studio album. They are a new metalcore band, and this is by far my favorite record from them. I've always felt like something was missing as far as their albums are concerned. Either the song designs or the overall album structure, having a lot of different tracks, not feeling like they were ever really cohesive as far as an overall record is concerned. It's a band that obviously had talent, has talent, and has created some really good songs and has put together some strong records. But like I said, there was always something missing. Not the case with Time. Time to me is a perfect album as far as the band is concerned. It has everything that it needed to have in order for you to see an evolution as far as what the band wants, not just out of their sound, but out of creating an album that actually feels like a cohesive body of work. So this record has great sound, great design, great lyrics, very emotional. Lena is phenomenal on vocals. Perhaps her strongest vocal performance in the band is with this album. So it's a record that comes off the back of some lineup changes, but you could almost see that those lineup changes had an incredible positive impact on their music, and this record is a result of that. So my favorite album by them, I was really surprised, happily surprised to see them putting together such an incredible body of work, such a cohesive experience, such a cohesive album from start to finish. Next we have Ishan with a self-titled Ishan, out February 16th on Candlelight Records. This is his 8th solo record, and he's a black metal artist. I mean, it's really hard to define his solo career. He's been a little bit all over the place in terms of what drives his inspiration and what drives his music. Black metal, progressive rock. I mean, he's done almost anything that you can think of as far as his solo work is concerned. Now, this album is perhaps one of his best works to date. First of all, I love the fact that there's 2 versions of the same record. There's the metal version and then there's the orchestrational version, which is like, one of the layers, if you will, of the main record separated from it, so you can have almost like a movie score style format album for you to digest. So you can experience the record in 2 different formats, same album. And this was really something new for me. I honestly was taken back by it, by the idea of having these 2 records, but I was taken back more by the quality of the record itself. I enjoyed the metal version first, then I listened to the orchestral one, then I went back to the metal one, and I think I was able to get the most out of both worlds and really enjoy such an incredible album. It's a concept record, it has a great story behind it. It feels very emotional, it sounds very emotional. It's just a great album to just sit back and enjoy the journey that it takes you on, and enjoy the experience of diving deeper into this record. It's one of those that it doesn't matter if you're listening to it for the first or the 100th time, you're always going to find something new, because a lot of the experience that comes from listening to this record comes from your own personal experience. Where is your mindset at the time that you decide to sit down and press play? That is going to have an incredible impact on how this album comes across. And speaking of albums that come across in that fashion, The next band on the list is Tvinna with Two Wings of Ember, out February 23rd on by Norse Music. This is the band's second record. They are post black metal, atmospheric black metal, really hard progressive black metal. I honestly, this is another band that I have a real hard time categorizing or putting under a specific genre, a specific umbrella, because their sound is very eclectic. There's folk elements. There's just a lot to digest when it comes to their music and when it comes to this record. But if the album from Ishan was a journey into this concept that allows you to dive deeper and deeper every time you listen to, this one is no different. This album has incredible sound, just really incredible sound that offers two different polar opposite experiences. Normally when you have atmospheric albums like this, albums that have some folk roots but at the same time have this very earthy experience that it feels like very organic and connected to the world around us, they tend to be very warm in nature because that's just how the sound comes across. This record is able to give you both cold and warmth. Like, it has both experiences, sometimes with the same elements. It's just how they're presented that you're able to feel something different from them. And that dynamic is not just in the sound, it's also in the vocal performance, which makes the album super captivating, very interesting, really well designed and well crafted. An incredible sonic experience from the first to the last song. They are an amazing, amazing band, and this record, it was just off the charts. I honestly really enjoyed it. It was a little bit of a sleeper pick for me because coming into this record, I didn't know much about the band, but that definitely changed after I listened to this album. Next we have Job for a Cowboy, Moon Healer, out February 23rd on Metal Blade Records. This is the band's fifth studio album. They are a progressive death metal band, and after a very, very, very long hiatus, here they are releasing Moon Healer. And if you're going to take a massive hiatus like they have taken, you have to come out guns blazing. And Moon Healer is definitely that style of a record that comes out guns blazing. It's a really crafted, like, to the detail style record. Not that I was expecting anything less from them. It's an album that doesn't leave any stone unturned. It has the right focus. It has the right delivery. It has an outstanding design, an outstanding structure that makes the listener feel glued to the experience, but also part of that same experience. Incredible vocal performance from start to finish, super dynamic, adding to the overall dynamic nature of the sound of the record, of how these songs come together. A strong album across all of the different parameters that you can judge it by. An album that surprised me because there's always this expectation when a band has taken a very long period off of what the next record is going to sound like. Sometimes those expectations are hard to meet. This album not only met my expectations, it surpassed my expectations. It's a phenomenal album by Job for a Cowboy. It doesn't feel like they've taken as much time off as they did. And last, but definitely not least, Darkest Hour, Perpetual Terminal, out February 23rd on Monarch Heavy. This is the band's 10th studio album. They are a melodic death metal band, a metalcore band. There's influences of those two genres in their sound. And I know they have a deep discography. I know this is their 10th record, but I think this is their best record. At least it's my favorite record from them. It's an album that has elements of those two genres. It's a melodic death metal album, but it has also metalcore elements. It's a really rich sounding album because of that duality and because of all the different influences that they brought in into these songs. It is a heavy record. It's a banger. There's no fillers. It's just great song after great song after great song. Super complete album from that experience. It's one of those records that you just sit back and enjoy. You enjoy the song that you're on, but you're already excited about the song that comes after because, like I said, there's no fillers. It's a great record all around. It's hard to find these days. It's hard to find albums that are this deep and this strong front to back with no songs that you feel like are easy to skip or that perhaps are there just to, make up a longer duration of the record. This album has none of that. They trimmed all the fat and they're just giving you the pure sirloin. It's a magnificent album by Darkest Hour. Think about that 10th record, and at the 10th record they deliver a masterpiece like this. It just tells you what kind of band they are, the motivation that they have, how driven they are, the inspiration that they're getting to put together an album that has songs that obviously work tremendously in a studio setting, but you can't tell me that these songs are not going to translate to a live setting. These songs are built to be performed live. All of them on the entire album. They have the right energy, they have the right ebbs and flows, they have the right cues to really become popular songs during a live performance by The Darkest Hour. It's just a great record all around, a very complete album, and like I said, my favorite record, and I would argue that this is their best album ever. This is it. My top 5 albums for the month of February. Now you can go into the comment section and let me know your top 5 records. I'm dying to see what you have to say, and I'll see you all at the next video. Take care, guys.